More than 2 million kids currently use e-cigarettes and 4,000 more try them every day. Now there's a call to action. The American Lung Association and the Ad Council have launched a critical new campaign emphasizing to parents that they have a pivotal role in stopping their child from vaping. Here with more insight is Dr. Cedric Jamie Rutland from the American Lung Association. He's also a Sacramento native. Welcome, Dr. Rutland. We're happy to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. I always love talking to Sacramento.
Yes, well, we're happy to have you on and talking about an important topic as students head back to the classroom. Let's talk about the new campaign, You're the Best Person to Talk to Your Kids, and its urgent message. Tell us what it's all about.
The American Lung Association has partnered with the Ad Council this year to help create awareness surrounding vaping. And the reason that we titled it "You're the Best Person to talk to your kid about vaping" is because parents are the best people to talk to their kids about vaping. I have two children. I've got a 9-year-old daughter and an 11-year-old daughter, and I'm in their life on a daily basis, and I want to be able to have that relationship with them to bring up consequences of vaping.
Yeah, and kids look to their parents for guidance, so it's important that parents are able to give them some insightful tips and information. Can you share some practical tips for parents to discuss the dangers of vaping with their kids?
From my perspective as a parent, the one thing that I want to do for my kid is I want to recognize their independence. So I want to tell them, hey, listen, I'm proud of you. You've been making great decisions. What do you think about vaping? That's how I will start the conversation. I also may connect the consequences of vaping to things that they enjoy. I've got two daughters that love soccer, play it competitively, and I'll let them know, hey, listen, when you inhale, when you are vaping, you are actually creating inflammation of your lung and you can have trouble breathing, which is going to affect you on the field.
I like that you mentioned asking them, what do you think about vaping? Because it already becomes an open dialogue. So what are the health risks of e-cigarettes?
So, when we think about the health risks of cigarettes, the first thing to understand is how our lung is designed. Our lung is essentially a bunch of pipes that lead to a bunch of balloons all stacked on top of one another. Every time you take a breath, you are snatching your environment and you're introducing it to the inside of your body. When you are vaping, you are essentially taking a concentrated environment that's full of all kinds of molecules because of the different flavors. And some of the molecules that are produced are actually carcinogenic. That means that they cause cancer. A lot of the molecules that are produced cause a lot of inflammation. So every time you vape, you are distorting that homeostasis of your lung. Your immune system gets recruited into the area where you're vaping, causing inflammation. You can have wheezing, coughing, shortness of breath. And that inflammation can be sustained in those balloons. We call that interstitial lung disease. An example of that is popcorn lung, which is the hypersensitivity pneumonitis. So these are health consequences that are going to affect you over the long haul and can remain with you throughout your life so long as you continue vaping. You already have to deal with the air pollution here in California. If we vape on top of that, it's just going to make that inflammation worse.
And now that we know the health risks, what are some signs parents should watch out for if they suspect their child is vaping?
Listen, I'm a parent. I've mentioned this before. If you live in my house, all the rooms are mine. I will go in the room. I will check their backpack. I will look for evidence, physical evidence of a vape. The other thing I do is I let their friends come to my house. If they ask if they want to have a friend over, friends can come because I want to know who my kid is hanging out with. I want to know if that kid is vaping.
Yeah, and it's invading their environment with the best intentions. Doctor, what are some stats we in California need to be aware of when it comes to vaping in our state specifically?
It looks like in California, about 5% of high schoolers are vaping. That's actually half of the national average, which I think is a good thing. California is actually really good about vaping and smoking, for instance, but it's not down to zero. And so when you look at kids, and again, I live in Orange County, California, and I am tasked with talking to the neighbors' kids about vaping pretty much every single beginning of the school year. I think it's important for us to understand that vaping is still here. Just because your kid is good or just because your kid is well behaved doesn't mean that they haven't thought about vaping. So I think it's really important for us to continue to hammer down the consequences of vaping and continue to understand that our kids are going to be introduced to this, and we have to arm them with the techniques to be able to say no.
There we go. All very helpful tips, Dr. Rutland. Thank you so much for enlightening us today. And to our viewers, you can find out more by going to talkaboutvaping.org.